What's up? Turn my life up, family. This is Focus Friday. My name is Rashida Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us this week. See me, this is our second part of, well, that was 4. This is our second part of last week's video. And the reason I had it on my heart to blog about and to make the second part of part 5 or step 5 is because I feel like I've seen personally a lot of people in like my age range that do a lot of, sure, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, I can take that on, that's fine. And you don't know, little by little, you are taking on so many different things. And like I said in the last video, you ever have something that you set a goal for and it's like, I don't really have time for that. Well, why don't you have time for that? Have you really assessed and thought about why your time is being eaten up little by little and you go to bed tired, or you have to wake up early, or you spend all day doing this one thing you feel like is insignificant or whatever? Have you really thought of that? Have you thought of why that is and how to fix it? The second part of step 5 is simply this. I would like you to be real about and calculate where your time is going minute by minute, hour by hour throughout the day. The reason you want to calculate your time and see where your time is going day by day and meticulously calculate your time, if you're having a problem of, I want to do this, but I feel like I don't have time, is because people honestly nowadays, because information comes at us so quickly now, and you've got phones, you've got iPads, you've got cable, you've got internet, you've got jobs, you've got kids, you've got all these different things, and you're feeling like, it's like, well, I would be more successful if, and it's like, well, what's the if? Do you know what the if is? You want to really start looking at where your time is going throughout the day. I will be candid with you guys and let you know that truly, realistically, I can only focus on about 3 projects at a time. Now, I know I just said in my last video, okay, have one goal and one project, but consider this point. I've got my 10 goals on my list for the year, right? But my life is not 10 goals. I have a husband, I've got volunteer assignments, I've got work, I've got different things that I have to do. I have a business. I can't just limit my life to a dream of going to Miami. Like, there are other things I have to do. So with those things, yes, you want to focus on one goal at a time, but the reason for that is because you've got other things you've got to do. You got to take care of kids. You have to spend time with your husband. You have to spend time with friends. You've got to have time to relax. You can't just say yes and do so many things and not realize the other things that you have going on in your life. And that's the reason that you're working on one goal at a time. And that's the reason I can only focus on 3 projects at a time. And sometimes people come to me and they say, oh, Rashida, I'd like you to X, Y, and Z or A, B, and C. I say, great, I'll get back to you on that. Why? Because I'm not gonna just say yes. Now, there are times, and I am still working on that. I'm not just saying I'm just perfect right now. There are times where I've said, yeah, sure, and I'm like, oh, snap. I didn't think that far out, you know what I mean? But I can't just say yes to everybody and everything, because if you do that, for example, think about if you're a mom, and you've got kids that are in football, you've got them, they're in school too, you've got a husband, you have all these different things that are going on, and all those things are slowly demanding. The kids are gonna ask for this, and the football team wants that, and you got this child's homework that's coming in there. These are different projects that are coming at you at one time. How are you managing these things? I want you to take this week to sincerely map out your time and see where time is going. Kind of like how you manage money. You know, well, some people know where every dollar is going. I want you to know where every minute is going. And if you check the blog out, you're gonna see steps on how to do that. But basically what you're gonna do, you can do it 1 or 2 ways. You can just sit down one day and kind of see where your time goes. You know, I'm not really good at that because like tomorrow I'm gonna forget what I did today. That's not good for me. What I do is I do a time map. Now, there is a lesson that Teresa Bell I'm like a really big fan, that she teaches that will help you with that. I think it's something about how to manage your time. Whatever it is, we'll try to link that in the blog or description below, but she talks about how to use a time map. You wanna buy that audio and listen to it and see how it is that you use a time map. I talk a little bit about how to do that in the blog also, so you can read that, but she has way more tips and things like that that you can use also. Start looking where your time is being eaten up at. Are you watching too much Netflix? Are you spending too much time on Instagram? What is it that's actually eating up your time and making you say, well, I don't have time for X, Y, and Z. I don't have time for that. Start figuring that out and take this week to just completely do that. See it as kind of budgeting your time out. Check out the blog for more details on that, and we'll see you guys next week.